Hello there! Thanks for hanging out with me in the Nerdery. We are going to liberate Boba Fett from his awesome retro card and throw in a surprise unboxing for scale play. This episode will ask and answer the question,
Boba Fett? Boba Fett? Where?
enjoying these 40th anniversary Empire Strikes Back retro cards. How about you guys? Left hand corner has the 40th anniversary Empire Strikes Back sticker. Then you get the Star Wars Empire Strikes Back logo, Boba Fett himself. Then you have the action figure and his blaster rifle and card, rounded out by the Kenner logo. Flipping to the back, commemorate the 40th anniversary of Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, with figures from the Black Series, featuring classic design and packaging. As we scroll up, you can see the 5 figures from this wave. I've picked up all of these retro cards except for Luke Dagobah because I got him in the Yoda Luke 2-pack. How about you guys? Right, let's liberate Boba. Boba Fett was born 32 years before the Battle of Yavin. His first appearance was in the Star Wars Holiday Special in 1978. His first live-action appearance was in The Empire Strikes Back in 1980, and it was the first movie I ever saw in a theater. I was 3 years old. Boba Fett is the unmodified clone of Jango Fett, who raised him as his son until Boba inherited one of the coolest ships in the galaxy from Jango, the Slave One. Here's Boba Fett. He is so cool right out of the box, man. He takes me right back to when I was a little kid and I had my Boba Fett action figure and my Slave One and my Falcon and Han and Carbonite. This is what I always envisioned that little, 3-inch toy was. This figure right here. Let's mix it up today and do some scale comparison first. Here's my surprise unboxing. Bosk! They look so cool together. Bosk is supposed to be 6'2", Boba Fett is 6 foot tall, so I think they scale pretty well together. Something that's really cool about this figure is his jaw has articulation, so it moves slightly up and down. The rest of his head's pretty limited, but that's kind of cool. I like that feature. Really makes me want to get the rest of the bounty hunters and build a bounty hunter Empire Strikes Back scene. First thing you'll notice is Boba Fett's awesome Mandalorian helmet. Yellow marks on the side, probably from bounties or kills. Lots of weathering. You can see the silver underneath coming through where it's been chipped off. A little bit of a glare on the black visor. Love the way the green and real dark maroon works together. Again, more weathering on the right side of his face. And then you can get a close look at his antenna, which, unlike Sabine's, does not move. So the head will move nicely side to side, and actually does get some decent tilt up, as well as down, but it is limited on the head tilt, which I think Boba Fett really needs some head tilt. Dude, check out the top of the helmet. You can see the dent and where the paint came off and got scraped. That is so cool. Back of the helmet just shows more weathering and battle damage. You can see more battle damage and scarring on Boba Fett's green armor. I think they nailed the look. I love how you have a symbol and you have the 2 maroon lines right there. Right shoulder shows battle damage. Left shoulder has the Mandalorian Mythosaur symbol. Shoulders come out very nicely. You do have one pin at the elbow that comes out a little bit less than 90 degrees, but if we zoom in here, they've got a cut at the bicep that's hidden. That's really cool how they executed that. So even though you don't have greater than 90 degrees at the elbow, this bicep cut is a little bit of a trade-off, and I do appreciate it. Gauntlet on his right wrist, which controls his jetpack, looks awesome. You got a little bit of silver detail on the buttons, and then you have a tube coming off here, which probably connects to the jetpack. Right wrist has articulation back and forth with a pistol grip. His right gauntlet's even cooler than the left. You have a missile, a control panel, and more detail on the side here, man. That is awesome with the green, the silver, and the dark red. Left hand also has a trigger finger and articulates side to side. To the back, you have Boba Fett's jetpack and rocket, which green matches his outfit. It has some really, really cool detail, weathering where you can see the silver underneath where the paint chipped off. And then take a look at his rocket right there, man. So cool. Also comes with a soft goods cape that hangs off the side. Normally not a fan of soft goods, but this looks pretty good on Boba. Jetpack comes off just to reveal more detail of the armor. You can see the back of his belt there with belt buckles. Also comes with a blaster holster with the blaster in it. I'll show you guys what that looks like in a second. And then we traverse around to his cargo pants. He has a very nice hidden thigh cut on the cargo pants. Mustard yellow knee pads with weathering and detail. And then he comes with a double knee joint. great flexibility. Let's check out his boots, man. These are super cool. Boots are like a dark gray color. They have weathering on there. You can see where they're wrinkled. He has a silver plate on the front of his shoe. Articulates back and forward nicely, as well as good pivot. Also comes with this sweet rifle, man. Looks like an old Colt revolver pistol that has an extended barrel and a scope, and then you've got this big wooden barrel on the end of it, man. Check out how cool the white looks with the brown and then the silver detail and etchings on it. So the challenge is, how do you fit this into his trigger finger? So if I tried holding it this way with his hand on the grip, it fits, but his trigger finger doesn't get in. So even though his finger can't get into that trigger hole, I still think it looks pretty good. It's not as much his action, but him just kind of holding it down to the side and maybe bolstering it there. So when Vader comes and says, "No disintegrations," and Boba can just look at him and nod and look really cool. So one thing I do wish was this would come out at greater than 90 degrees, because I wouldn't mind him holding it back over his shoulder. But for the nerdery, I think it's going to look cool, just him holding it down with a very minimal head tilt. Boba Fett's blaster, pretty simple. A real dark brownish maroon with silver accents. Oh wow, man. I think that looks pretty sweet. He's always kind of holding his weapon down to the side, kind of head tilted, looking at you like he's about to mess you up, or hey, don't come over here and mess with me. With the nice hand articulation that moves side to side, you can point the gun in a variety of ways. But you can't kind of do that up pose where he's kind of looking to the side because you have less than 90-degree articulation. So I think with this one, you're going to probably use it to point forward, point out to the side, or just hold it down and generally look like a menacing badass. What do you guys think? How would you pose him in your display? For scale fun, here's Boba Fett with Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, as well as Paz Vizsla, the heavy infantry Mando. Pretty cool how they look together. I love all the different Mandalorian armors and variants. Even though we know Boba Fett is not a Mandalorian, he does wear their armor. Would make for an interesting prequel to see how he got the armor and why he wears it. I think it's really interesting that he does have the Mythosaur skull emblem on his armor, just like Paz Vizsla does here. The brand new Sabine Wren with photoreal face and Clone Commander Bly. For scale purposes, it's interesting to see that Sabine is almost 6 feet tall, and Clone Commander Bly will be taller than 6 foot, maybe 6'1", 6'2". Can you have too many Mandalorian armor figures? I say thee nay! I think we answered the question of where Boba Fett is. He's in my nerdery and will be displayed prominently. Boba Fett is pure nostalgic joy. This figure is exactly what I envisioned as a little dude, man. I love this card so much, I grabbed a second Boba to add to my Empire Strikes Back display. There is so much to love and appreciate about this figure. The helmet with battle damage and weathering, the perfect color choices. Love the wrist gauntlets with tech and controls, and they nailed the accessories with great detail on the blaster rifle and jetpack. This figure will display prominently in the nerdery and will most definitely be kept out of the Sarlacc pit. Please like, subscribe, and ring the bell to join the noble quest of building this action figure collection. See you real soon.